Every choice we make affects every aspect of our life. Many of us hesitate, many of us overthink, and maybe fear dictates what direction we're going to go in, our action or inaction. So if you find yourself um, that it's hard for you to make a decision, then today's class, we're going to be talking about understanding our thought patterns, recognizing limiting beliefs, and embracing some of the conscious choices that we make and don't make. So today, we're going to learn and grow. So get your pen and paper because we're going to learn and grow together.
And when you need a friend, you can count on me. I'll be right here waiting for you.
Hi, my name is Lillian McDermott, and I am a certified life coach, a holistic cancer coach, and the host of the Lillian McDermott radio show Classroom. If this is the first time in the classroom, please know I've been waiting for you. This is a safe place where you can go when you need a friend. It is my commitment to provide natural ways to heal, and it is my mission to make awareness, responsibility, and truth a part of our everyday life. And I hope you, my listening and my viewing friend, will feel empowered to embrace a new truth and live the life of your dreams. Now, for those of you who know what today is the last day that you can get a discount at the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit. One of the reasons why I chose this topic is about making decisions. When do you make your decisions? What's keeping you from making the decision to attend the workshop, to attend any aspect of your life? What is it? Do you know? Do you think you just like to think and rethink and this is just part of your process? Maybe that is the part of your process. But if you can't make that decision and you just kick the can down the road and you let the lack of decision be the decision, then you might be missing your season. You might be missing that excellence that you were entitled, your God-given right to be. So if you miss your season, one could say, okay, maybe there's another season, but maybe that season will be different. That season in your life where it's a time for reaping, time for sowing, time for laughter, time for tears. It says that in the Bible. But today we're going to be talking about what is keeping us from making decisions. Do you know? Well, today we're going to be talking about that, or I'll be sharing with you. I'll be your teacher in the classroom today. And it is all purpose in life to give and receive love and knowledge. So I'm grateful that I get to share this topic with you. It is a topic that comes up in the classroom all the time. Actually, in my coaching. My coaching is also a classroom per se, but I'm not talking about the classroom that started as a radio show. I'm talking about private coaching. One of the main questions that I need to overcome, hurdles, is how do I know I'm making the right decision? How do I know this is the best decision for me? The answer is so simple that we overthink it and over process it and overdo it to the point where we don't even want to make the decision. Can you relate to that? Well, the number one reason that people are concerned is probably that they don't trust their intuition, that you're not functioning out of your essence, that you might be more in your egoic mind, wanting to look good, feel good, wanting to be right, be comfortable, and in control. Those are different things that just recently I re-aired the ego and how that we recognize the ego. So I want to encourage you to go to that class that I play it every so often because it's such an important aspect that the ego that was meant to keep us alive as children, like don't put your finger in a socket, don't cross the street without looking both ways, don't get in a car with strangers, that ego kept us alive when we were children because we needed a kind of like a Jiminy Cricket in our head the whole entire time. But that same ego that kept us alive is fear driven, because that's what those are the lessons we learned. Oh man, I won't do that again. But those are the lessons that kind of keep us small today. That same ego, and I'm not talking about self-esteem. You should love yourself no matter what. I am talking about that ego. So the answer to the question of how do I know I made the right decision or I'm making the right decision? The answer is simple, like I said earlier. Are you at the edge of the street seat? Are you? Are you? Well, it's because you made it. Because you made that decision, there was something in you that chose that yes or that no. Yes, I am going to go forward. No, I am not going to go forward. Maybe you can say, let me think about it. But if you say you want to think about it, but you never think about it and you never act on it, that is a decision made from the ego because the ego wants to look good, be in control, right, and comfortable. Those are the signs that you're in your ego. So if you say, let me think about it, but you have no intention of thinking about it, that is different than you say, you know what, let me check my schedule, let me talk to my spouse, my significant other, let me check with the people that are going to be involved, and I will get back to you. If you say that and you truly mean it, you will get back to them. You will check whatever you need to check and you will get back to them. But if the intention is, I just want to look good right now because I don't want to, say something that's going to get me held accountable, like, well, you said that last month or you said that last year, whatever it is. Oh, yeah, let me think about it. But if you have no intention of thinking about it, then the decision is not being made by your essence. It's being made by your ego. I know this ego essence thing is always with us. And even those of us who have done a lot of ego work and understanding what are the signs, what are the symptoms of being in my ego, even us who have done the work, we're self-cleaning ovens, like I like to say. We can slide into the ego, but the more you do the awareness work of the ego, the easier it is for you to get out of it. Like you can have a dialogue with yourself. I really want to do this. Why am I not having this? Why am I not doing this? Well, it could be because of fear. It could be because a limited belief about yourself. It could be just fill in the blank, whatever it is, because I know you know why you don't make decisions. You might say you don't know, but I assure you that if I told you that you know, and you truly try to dive into why it is you do what you do, there will be an answer that will come back. 99% of the time, when I ask a client, tell me, why do you think you're doing this to yourself? The answer that I get is, I don't know. And then I reply, but what if you did know? What if you knew 100% what it is? And then they go, I think it's because of this. It's that pause to align your intention with your action that takes place at that moment. When you allow your thought process, your intention to align with the action, that's where the sweet spot is. And let me tell you, there have been times where my why, like, let me just say YES, when my yes has been greater than my fear. I may not know anything about why I'm saying yes, but there's this gut yes that comes out of me without asking for facts, asking for opinions, asking for details. When I say yes, I honor that yes. Even if at the end of the road, I realize, man, if I would have known all these details, I would have said no. Has that ever happened to you? It happens to me quite a bit, but when my yes is greater than my fear, I do not question it. And I take whatever comes. I remember one time I was asked to be a part of a retreat. And I remember going to this retreat. They wanted me to do the music because I used to sing at church. I was the lead cantor, blah, 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 all of that. So I went into this retreat thinking that I was going to be um, doing the music ministry for it. But during the whole process, and especially of discernment during that time, I said, when they asked me where I felt I was most powerful in the retreat, I don't even know where this answer came from because I don't even remember there was a talk on this topic. But I said, I am more than music, I am scripture. This happened after 7 years of Bible study fellowship. I was asked to be on this retreat. I said yes. I didn't realize the amount of time that would be required. I did not realize that it conflicted on my oldest daughter's senior prom and my younger daughter's, it was her, maybe her sophomore, or junior prom at the time. I didn't realize, but they allowed me. Once you realize that there are some conflicts, negotiate the conflicts. They scheduled a break so that I could come home, do the girls' makeup and hair. They looked beautiful. We took pictures. I went back. Do you see how it all worked out? I was going, how am I going to make this all work? Especially after I said, I am more than music. I am scripture. And they said, you're discerned for the scripture talk. And I went, what scripture talk? I just said what came out of my heart, what came out of my body. But when God is asking you to do something, please don't question it. Unless God is asking you to kill somebody, which God would never ask you because that is part of the commandments, thou shalt not kill. I don't care how much you agree or disagree with the person, how much you hate the person. Killing is never the solution. So, with that in mind, I remember that coming out of my mouth. And everybody at the end, I was discerned for the scripture talk. What scripture talk? I don't even remember a scripture talk. Where was my brain at the time? Why did this happen? Why did I say yes? Why did I say that this was more than music? I am scripture. 2 years prior to that moment, I remember sitting at my last year of Bible study fellowship. And people asked me for 6 years prior to that, or 7 years prior to that, why aren't you a student leader? Why aren't you a study leader? Why aren't you? And I said, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. But I remember thinking I wanted to be the study leader. That thought came in. You need to be the study leader, not the small group leader. So I may have said that incorrectly. So why aren't you the small group leader? And I remember sitting there listening to the study leader, and the thought that came into my mind, and it was audible. I could hear it was, you don't want to be the small group leader. You want to be the study leader. What? Where did that come from? I put that off my mind. That was gone. As quickly as it came in, I dismissed it. But when I was obedient and I went through the process, listen, I would much rather die than give a talk. At the time, that's how I felt. I looked for everything I could possibly do. Like, no, there's an error. There's no way that I discern myself into a talk. I'm the one that's going to do the music. Remember that? That was the original plan. But when God ordains something, if you're in resistance, it doesn't flow as well. Last time I did the classroom, that I was by myself, I talked about the mindset. The mindset, how when you flow, when everything flows, there's just such a peace about things. I was in resistance the whole entire moment that I realized how much I was giving up. But I also trusted that my yes was greater than my fear, that there was a purpose why I said yes, and I was going to lean into it and I was going to see it through, but I needed to negotiate some deal breakers. Like, for example, the weekend of the retreat, I needed to make sure I was there for my children, for my daughters, especially my oldest one, who this was her last year doing this, last year of high school. I wanted to be a part of that. I wanted to be in the pictures. I, I just wanted to be there. I needed to be there. As much as I love God, I knew God would be there for me too. And it happened. I was able to go there. When I was about to give my talk, the night before, I remember waking up and the blinds were like making a noise. And I looked at the light at the ceiling, and there was this light. I kid you not. It was in the shape of a dove. It was in the shape of something that was different than just a slit, just the line peeking through or that light peeking through. And I heard the words in my head because at the beginning of the talk, you say, "Hi, my name is," and you give your entire name. And for the longest time, I was ashamed of my middle name. When I was younger and I lived in Puerto Rico, I loved my middle name. But when I came back to the States where I was born, and now all my friends were American, just like me, um, I kind of like hid my middle name. And so I was Lily Medina. But at that moment, not only was I Lillian McDermott or Lily McDermott, I was that middle name as well, with my maiden name as well. And I said, no, I am not. And I mean, I am talking back in my head with this image. No, I am not. I'm not going to do that. But if you want to argue with God and if you want to defy what you're being called to do, that's a tough day because you will always lose. You will lose if you don't obey, and you will lose if you do your way. How do I know that? Because I listen. There have been times where I have been very angry with God, and I realized that I was the one that missed out on it. I was the one that missed out on the blessing. So I remember moving forward that day that I'm giving my talk. My scripture talk that I don't even know where it came from. But I remember sitting there and writing this talk, sharing this talk with my peers, and them critiquing the talk. And I made some changes, and now it's the time. But now, instead of saying my name is Lillian McDermott or Lillian Medina McDermott, I now needed to say my middle name. And as I was about to say my middle name, everybody, oh my God, I just get emotional just thinking about this. How dare I try to disobey God? So I am struggling, just struggling, because after you give like a little brief about your talk, you say, "Hello, my name is," and I went, "Lillian." And I was fighting it. And then I began to cry like I am now. And I said, "My name is Lillian Del Pilar Medina McDermott." Everybody was crying with me. They saw my struggle. And that's what I see when somebody is having a hard time making a decision. Why? Because I lived it. I lived it. And sometimes you learn from books, and other times you learn from experiences. I call it God sent me first. I know what it's like to be in defiance of God, especially after I lost my child. I was pregnant at the time. My sisters were pregnant too, but I miscarried my child. I was so angry with God. But in that anger, I continued going to church, but I did not pray. And I taught my little girl at the time, I taught her to go to church, and she was little at the time. But that loss, that loss that I experienced brought me to music and singing and becoming a cantor and learning scripture through music. God always knows what path we need to take. God is just sitting there, just like clicking. Okay, she took this turn. Now I got to make all this happen. Oh, she took that turn. Oh, now I need to make this thing happen. For any of you that think that free will is happening, well, maybe there is free will, but ultimately, we will all bow down to God. I don't care who you are and what you believe. Every knee will bow, every tongue confess, every, from the unconditional lover who is God, Jesus, and the Spirit of God that is in me, that is in you. And that's what I want to encourage you today to tap into that obedience, that knowing that if you've got this, like, I know I want to do this, but my fear, my ego, that flesh is keeping me from doing the things that I really want to do or I'm being called to do. Do you ever find yourself saying, I want to write a book? Me. I want to start a new business. I want to quit my job and maybe not quit my job, but find another job and then quit my job. I want to be a stay-at-home mom, but maybe I'm fearful of what all my working mom friends will say or think or all those things. Have you ever had a desire that's been placed in your heart? And you know maybe that there is a window, like the window of me having to say my name, my entire name. I love my entire name. It is who I am. It's who God created in me before I was formed. God knew that I would be here. I didn't. I did not know I would be here talking to you 15 years ago, or maybe even longer than that. I never knew I would open my own business. I never knew that in volunteering at church, I would learn how to fundraise, that I would learn how to create events. I would learn all these things. When you say yes, and your yes is greater than your fear, you will be called to an excellence that you never knew you were ordained for. So if you are stuck in an indecision, the decision will be made for you, and it may not be the one that you really want to do. What is keeping you? What keeps me from making those decisions? If I tell you, here are some of my principles. If I tell you I'm going to think about it, I will think about it. I'm not just going to kick the can. If something happens in my life and I know it's going to be uncomfortable to face it, I will face it. If I know that I need to step away from something and move towards something else, even if it's painful, and I know I am going to miss out of the comfort of being in that place, I will step and lean forward and do what I'm being called to do. And here is the reason why I believe that whatever step you take is the right step, because God will bless every step, even if the blessing seems horrible. Even if at the moment it's painful, ugly, and awkward, I promise you that if you take that step in faith, not in fear, but if you take that step in faith, that amazing things will happen. You will reach new levels of excellence that you never knew you would achieve. Do you have to have a script? Do you need to know what's next? Do you have to know that if I do this, then this will happen? If I do this, then this will happen. I wish it were that simple, but it's not like that. It's not a connect the dots unless you're looking backwards. When you connect the dots, when you are moving forward and you're forcing whatever you want, that is your will, not God's will. Now, if you don't believe in God, there's a higher power. There's a higher level. And if you don't believe in that, just trust the process. Just trust the process. I think I showed this to you guys last time, or maybe I showed it to my small group that I coach, but trust the process. What is trusting the process? Trusting the process means that you will trust that whatever step you took is the right step for you at this moment. If your yes is greater than your fear, that will flow very well. If your yes is made out of fear, then you might be in resistance. Then you might find yourself kind of struggling with that decision. And how do you get out of the struggle of this decision? Is embracing the decision. Heck, I picked it, I made the decision, I said yes, I'm going to lean in and I'm going to figure out what is the blessing at the end. When you look at life with anticipation that everything's going to turn out well, it is a much easier life than if you look at the future as what if, what if, what if. It is that what if that is rooted in fear. It is that fear that is rooted in your limiting belief. So, what are you thinking are your limitations? He won't let you, she won't let you. I don't have enough money. I'm not pretty enough. I'm not skinny enough. I'm not tall enough. I'm not healthy enough. What is that limitation that is fear? Now, a long time ago, I learned about Tim Ferriss. And Tim Ferriss was a very high functioning executive that was fearful. He had a lot of fears, a lot of phobias, but he was high functioning. But there were days that he couldn't even get out of bed. And so he created something that's called fear setting. You know, we talk about goal setting, and that's something that you can do. And a lot of people are focused on their goals and they stay focused on their goals but there are people that even though they're focused on their goal, there's this conversation in the back of your head saying, who's going to show up? Who's going to make this happen? You don't have enough education. You're not smart enough. Who is going to even think that you can do this? Well, that's what happens. That is what happens when you think more than you feel. So let me rephrase that. When you are thinking about something and you feel that you can't do it, that thought and that feeling will align with the action. So if you think that you want to do something, but you're not aligning with God, this is going to be great. If you're thinking, I want to do this, and you say, but what if I fail? Then you align yourself now from this point on with fear, and then you will feel then you will feel fearful, you will feel not enough, you will feel that you can't do it, you will feel that no one's going to like it, or people, what do people say? And then that will move into the lack of action. First it's a thought, then it's a feeling, then it's an action. But what if you said, I'm going to be focused on this. This is what I want to do. I know things are going to be great, so I'm excited about the outcome. And then that excitement about the outcome helps you make decisions, short-term, bite-sized choices that you can start building and building upon what it is that you want to do. So, with that in mind, one of the reasons I started the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit 2 years ago is because I wanted people to understand that we have been told a bunch of things that aren't necessarily complete. Okay? Complete is the word I want to use. I don't want to say it's a lie or an intentional lie. I'm going to give people the benefit of the doubt. But if you're focusing on one direction only, then how are you going to find out if there's more options for you? And it wasn't until then, it wasn't until I thought, okay, I am the Solution Natural Health Summit. I've never done a summit for myself. I've done events for Dr. Levy, Dr. Bradley Nelson. I've done events for other people as well, Dr. John Silva. But now, not only after 2 years of doing I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit, as I'm giving my talk and I'm looking at 160 people having a dialogue in my head saying, this room should be full. This room should sell out. And I stopped and I said, I'm just having a dialogue in my head, even though I'm giving you a talk and I want to share this dialogue. Next year, I declare that because people don't care about prevention, well, the people that care about prevention will come anyway. But the people that get a diagnosis now, they want solutions yesterday. So that's when the birth of I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit for Cancer and Autoimmune Dys-Ease, because I know so many people that either have cancer or some form of an autoimmune condition. And the dis-ease, the DYS, is from dysfunction to ease. That's what we want. When that dysfunction is happening, we are in the disease state. But when we go into ease, the body can now release some of the things, toxins, habits, thoughts that are keeping us sick. So do you need to make a decision about going to the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit? Do you? Do you? I hope so. I hope that you will say yes. I hope that your yes is greater than your fear and that you will say, I am going to do this. I'm going to spend the whole entire day for me. This is my gift for myself. Not for me, Lily, not for you, my spouse, not for you, my friend, but for me, the person that I want to learn and grow with other people that were catapulted ahead of me about natural health solutions. When I was younger, and when I say younger, up to my 47th year, even though my dad was a little bit more natural, he didn't take any pills by the age of 70, none, zero. He was in no pills, zero. He did get asked one time, he was having a procedure, and the nurse asked him, what do you take, Mr. Medina? And he says, one a day. Well, what do you take one a day of? And that went on like who's on first, what's on second. And I kind of amused myself for a little bit. And I waited for my dad to kind of express himself. But after it went on for a few minutes, I said, I think what he's saying to you that he only takes one a day vitamins. Not that I am promoting one a day vitamins, but that's what he was doing at the time. Okay. So what I'm trying to say to you is that we are in choice. We are in choice. And I know that there's a lot of people in this world that only listen to one kind of media or one kind of news and every decision that is made from that fear-mongering media is made from fear. But what if there are solutions? What if there's other ways that that I can choose to treat my body with that is less invasive, that has no side effects other than wellness? And some might say, oh, Lily, that's just a placebo effect. Well, if it's a placebo effect, bring it on. Because if it works, it works. I don't care how it works. I just know it works. And it works for a long time, not for a short period of time, but a long period of time. If you are willing to do whatever it takes, it will work. What is that it? It might be different for you than it is for me. That's why I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit on November 1st, 2025 is there for us to explore. Now, today is October 1st. Don't miss that opportunity. Seize the opportunity to get your tickets today at $25 off. I am also, if money is an object and you can attend physically Rockledge, Florida, when we have people from Chicago, we have people from Virginia, so that I've looked at because I don't get the I'm not getting any more of the the when a ticket is sold, the notifications, that's the word I'm looking for. I don't get them anymore for some reason. I'm not, but so I don't have everybody's distance, but the ones that I've had to intervene with because I've had to ask questions, then I know that they are from places from out of state. We have so many wonderful doctors. So when it comes to health, so when it comes to health, when we make decisions based out of fear, oh, if you try this, this bad thing's going to happen. Is it true? Is it real? No different than when you make a choice for your personal life, whether it's changing your career, going back to school, having a family, staying home. The fear, is it true? Is it not true? So that's what, going back to Tim Ferriss, that's what he established. He established fear setting. And what he did was he thought of every wrong thing that could happen, and he had three items, and you can look into it. He had three items that would, if this happens, then what should I do? If this happens, what are the three things that could go wrong? What are the things that I can do if things go wrong? What is the ultimate thing? Whatever. It's been a while since I've looked at it, but basically helps you go through the process of making a plan for whatever could go wrong. That is fear setting. Then you can say, okay, if plan A, plan B, or plan C don't work, then I've got a solution for that. Well, the same thing for the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit for Cancer and Autoimmune Dis-Ease. So I'm giving away two free tickets if you can make it. So if you are by yourself, then I will give you one ticket and I'll pick the other person's name in the basket. So get your name in the winner's basket. All you have to do is contact me at 407-373-5959, text me, or you can email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. But please make sure that you're going to be there from when the doors open at 8 o'clock to sitting down at 9 o'clock when the first speaker speaks and being there till the last speaker speaks, and you go to see all the vendors and you are able to finalize whatever it is that you want to learn. You will leave with tools just like the tools I'm trying to give you today. If you are a person that is overthinking attending this event because you think you don't have enough money, or that's the limiting belief of fear that you don't have enough, I will tell you, there have been times where I have leapt and God has caught me on the other end, and there is enough money at the end to do it. I'm not saying be irresponsible, but I'm saying that if you have to not have that extra cafe from your favorite coffee shop, or eat out as much as you've been eating out during the week or the weekend, if you start making those decisions, then you will definitely have enough money. And if you act before the end of the day today, October 1st, then that means that when you purchase your ticket, you will get $25 off. We have great speakers. We have Dr. Furman and Dr. Thomas Levy will be zoomed in. We have Dr. Mark Rosenberg. He is our keynote speaker. He's an integrative oncologist. You will be meeting him soon, but you will be very impressed with some of this expertise that he has brought to his industry. We will have Sylvie Beljanski. You've met her before. We have Brendan Legal, Dr. Renee Hahn. She was there last year talking about the spine and how the spine is very much in alignment with your health. A healthy spine is a healthy life. And then we have Holly Gilbert, and Holly Gilbert will be there, administering IVs. And I didn't mention Brenda Legal will be doing the frequency healing, hydrogen therapy, PEMF machine, and other. I'm sure they'll bring something. I have no idea what they're bringing, but I love all their products. And then Dr. John Silva, who is going to be doing a quick talk on the mindset, how to rewire the brain to health, especially if you have foggy brain, and this is a way that your neurons can connect. So there's so much that we're going to learn and grow together. Go to whenyouneedafriend.com. While you're there, please subscribe to my website. like and follow me on all social media, share, because the link is below um, of how you can access the event page. Share what if you have any questions. We've done a video on the people that have asked me questions. There's so much information there that you can go to. You can go to whenyouneedafriend.com again, and then there's the pop-up, and you can learn. If you need to be logical about it, that's perfectly fine too. But within that logic, make your informed choice. Make that decision. Don't wait until November 2nd because the decision will be made for you. So two people will get a free ticket. One person will get a ticket, or two people. One person will get two tickets, depending on what the response is once I pick your name out of the winner's basket a week from today. So, one of the reasons why I love doing the classroom is that this is where we take ownership and taking 100% responsibility for our life. No longer can we be victims of our situation. No longer can I say, well, because you hurt me, I now have the life that I have. That person hurts you once during that time, or that time that they're hurting you. But once you step away from them, if you continue to ruminate and think about how they hurt you, what they did to you, as a result, you can't do this, you can't do that, you no longer are willing to step out of your comfort zone, you're no longer, then the person who hurts yourself is you. They're no longer there in your life, especially if you've said, I'm going to love you from afar. I'm going to forgive, but I don't trust. Forgiveness and trust are two different things. And I say that, and I want you to understand that somebody can hurt you and you can forgive them, but that doesn't mean you can allow them back in your life to have them hurt you again. It is up to the person who hurts you to gain trust, to get the help. That is, if it's a situation where it's a person in your life that you feel that you're going to have contact with them forever and ever. But if it's someone that you don't share children with, or if it's someone that you don't share a life or family with, then sometimes it's best to love them from afar, especially if you can't trust them. There's a difference between forgiveness and trust. Forgiveness is for you to release you from what was done, not say, I condone it. No, to release you, saying, this happened, and now I get to learn the beauty and what I learned from this terrible situation. There have been many times where those lessons that have been difficult for me because because I ignored my intuition, because I wanted to stay comfortable. But even in that, there have been blessings and lessons along the way. These are lessons that have become gifts that I feel that God sent me first, that I can help you as a coach, and I can help you, hopefully as the host, in sharing this information with you. So I want to encourage you that when you go to whenyouneedafriend.com, you will check out my sponsors, you will check out all the products, my Shop Now bag, that you will, be part of all the workshops that we do, especially the November 1st one that is going to happen in Rockledge, Florida. It's going to be a great venue, and I know it will sell out. It's almost sold out. So make the decision today. Also, make the decision to become an enrolled student in the classroom. If you've been listening to my class for free and you've not contributed, whether it's your time, your talent, your treasure, by sharing the videos, by donating to the pod class, by financially donating, then think about, what have you gained from, is there a value to it? Figure out how you can give back, because when you give back, you will receive what you give. So I'm encouraging you to figure out a way that you can support the classroom, whether it's by sharing this video with your friends or your family members, or just the person you met in the street. Whatever it is, please act upon that yes and do it. So today I wanted to talk to you about decisions and why we don't make the decision right away. If you're logical, then get all the logic and then make your decision. If you are logical, but you still can't make the decision afterwards, then here's where I say to you, just step into it. Just say, I'm going to do it because I want the experience. I want to learn from this experience. And whatever, if you decide to say yes, make sure you do it with anticipation and excitement that all will go well. Because even at the end of the day, if you don't like the outcome, if you learn something from it, if you gain something from it, if you decided I'll never do that again, then there's been a lesson learned. That's a gift. That's a gift because when you do something, whether you like the outcome or you don't like the outcome, that kind of imprints in your brain. It really does. So I want to encourage you that to let that yes be greater than your fear. Taking action can have momentum. Taking action can be the difference between missing your opportunity to grow or riding the wave. And when I think about what makes me different than some of the people I know that can just lean into their yes and say, okay, I'm going to say yes. I didn't ask for this and I didn't ask for that. Oh my goodness, there's a conflict, like I mentioned at the beginning. Or when you say, oh, I can do this, but I won't do that. Like the song from the great philosopher Meatloaf, I would do anything for blank. The what was love, but you fill in the blank there, right? But I won't do that. That was what came after that. I won't do what? What aren't you willing to do? If you want to achieve something, and I just did, and tomorrow you will learn about We Venture. We Venture is a place where you can, if you want to start a business, if you want to um, help your business grow, it's sponsored by Florida Tech, and it's sponsored by the oh gosh, the SBA. And these are different ways that you can say, okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to learn. Maybe this is my missing piece of the puzzle. Maybe I just need to hone in what I was intended to do without questioning it. Without questioning it. If I say yes or if I say no. If I say no, because either intuitively I say, this does not align with my belief system, and I am not going to go down that path, that's a beautiful no. But if you say no because you don't want to get out of your comfort zone, or you don't want to let go of control, then there may not be the same flow. When you say no and it's out of alignment with who you are, there's a flow to that. You move on. But if you say no and there's a nagging, maybe I should do it, maybe I should look into it deeper. Oh no, no, I don't want to get uncomfortable. I don't want to step out of my uh, being right, of what that belief system is or whatever. I don't want to stretch. Then time out, time out, time out. It's time to say, what is my limiting belief system here? What keeps me from stepping into my greatness? Why do I allow myself to stay small? And when I say small, is that I know so many people that want to start a podcast, that are trying to tell me how to run my podcast. They want me to do things a certain way. And I always encourage them, yeah, this is the way my classroom is and the pod class is. But if you want something different, or if that whatever their suggestion, and go, oh yeah, that sounds great. I will do it. I'm open to feedback when it's when you ask for permission to give feedback. But when it is that gnawing, why did I? I really want to do it. And then you just say, well, let me think about it. Oh, you better know that you're going to think about it. But if you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning going, I didn't make that decision yet, or maybe you're so busy that you can't make that decision, just know that the only one being fooled is you. You're fooling yourself. Is that how you want to live your life, fooling yourself? If you have to take your journal, if you have to do some extra research, if you need to get more information and then make an informed choice, excellent, excellent. But if you're just kicking the can because you just want to look good, that you're thinking about it and then you never address it again, or if there's someone who does something behind your back and they don't tell you that they're doing it, and then they tell everybody else that they're doing it, but they don't tell you, those are times in your moment that you go, wow, that person's a coward. That person is not in alignment with my alignment. Do I want that person in my life or not? And you make those decisions in your life. And sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it's difficult to make a decision that is going to be painful because you know it's taking you out of your comfort zone, that it's taking you out of your limiting belief system. And what if you fail? What if you fail? What if you made the wrong choice? And at the end of the day, everybody's going to laugh at you. What if you fail? What if? Then I would tell you, you're controlling your own failure because it hasn't happened. Why go down a place of what could go wrong without going down the place of what could go right? What if everything goes right? What if this is your destiny? This is your destiny moment you were ordained by your Creator to do. Take that leap. Let your yes be greater than your fear. Understand that you're not going to be called to do something and have that quickening in your heart that says, I really want to do this. And if that, like in the past, you said, I wanted to once do this, or I wanted to once do that. I remember driving in my car as a 19-year-old, listening to Dr. Laura Schlesinger. And I remember I listened to her religiously. And I remember driving, and she gave an answer. Rare that we're not in alignment, but this time I did not like what she said and the advice she gave. I felt that there was a gentler way, a nicer way. There was a different way to do it as well. Don't offer the only solution when there are other options that you can go for. And out of my mouth, as I'm driving my little red Chevette, I said, I can do better than that. Now, I'm not saying I'm better than Dr. Laura Schlesinger. You know, I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy. But in that moment, that seed was planted. I would love to do this. I would love to give advice. As a matter of fact, I gave lots of advice, but was to fix everybody else. But it wasn't until I started listening to my own advice. I sought personal growth for myself, that I reached out. I have coaches. I did some personal growth. I became a certified life coach. But even as a certified life coach, I still have a coach. Doctors need doctors, coaches need coaches, and friends need good friends. And I remember when I started this classroom, actually radio show in 2011, I never thought I'd be here 14 years down the road. But if I would have said, oh, I don't have the credentials, I never took journalism, I don't know how to do this, then I would have missed the blessing. I would have missed the ride. So my question to you is, are you sitting with dissatisfaction? Are you sitting in discontentment? Is your life not what you thought you wanted it to be? Are your children, your spouse, your work, is it out of what you want? And you're trying to fix it and you're trying to make everybody do the things that you are unable or unwilling to do. Then it is time. It is time to let your yes be greater than your fear. That leap of faith that God will catch you on the other side. That what if everything goes right kind of road that I'm going to go, where it all flows together. Can you make a decision then? Will you? If you still think that this is not enough, then hey, I'm a life coach. Book an appointment with me. If you want to learn about health and wellness and you want to get rid of diabetes, if you want to reverse cancer, if you want to just learn that maybe there's another path for you. Be curious instead of critical. And join us at the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit for Cancer and Autoimmune Dys-Ease. Remember, today is the last day to make $25, that discount that you're going to get today. Make sure that you act. Let your yes be greater than your fear and go, I don't know what's going to happen there, but I know I'm going to learn something. I am excited with anticipation that all will be well. And when you make decisions like that, even if the outcome is not what you think it's going to be, you have learned something amazing and wonderful. So I want to encourage you financially. That is a situation that you find yourself in. And even if you just want to win things because you love winning raffles and giveaways, text me at 407-373-5959 or email me at lily@whenyouneedafriend.com. Know that if you do get these tickets, that you are going to be there all day long on November 1st, not just I'll come and go as I please, because somebody else will be missing out on this opportunity. So it's time. If you haven't made the decision, why not? What if at the end of the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit on November 1st, 2025, you will learn about cancer and autoimmune disease, and it will free you up to heal. What if? So I want to cordially invite you, share it with your friends, click the link below, and get started on a journey that is intentional for you, just like my journey started many years ago. And I'm here to bring you with me because God sent me first, and all the speakers, God sent them before me. And we're all going to learn and grow together. Will you be a part of this journey? Will you join us at the I Am the Solution Natural Health Summit? Make the decision today. And please remember, I'll be right here waiting for you and right there as well at whenyouneedafriend.com. This is Lillian McDermott wishing you love, peace, joy, and unexpected abundance. Make it the best day ever. Check it out. Join us. Bye.
The opinions and advice expressed on the Lillian McDermott radio show are intended for the individual callers and guests on the program and are presented to our wider audience solely for general educational purposes. Please act responsibly and consult personally with your own medical, psychological, or nutritional expert before taking any steps to improve your life.